Hi, I'm Chris McBrien, a Gen-Xer, and the pop culture from my generation is awesome.
And I'm Yancy Eaton, a Millennial, and the pop culture from my generation is dope.
Episode 16, One-Hit Wonders. Hey, it's Pop Goes Your World. I'm Chris McBrien, along with Yancy, as always. Yancy, before we get started this week, what's been going on in pop culture in your world in the last week?
Well, Jimmy Eat World, rather, came out with a new album, and I've been slowly dissecting that. That's one of my favorite bands from like the last 10, 15 years, and it was kind of exciting because I honestly thought that they were done writing music, so I've been listening to a lot of that. There's another UK band called Two Door Cinema Club. They're like a pop rock band, but it's more like indie rock. They came out too with a new album. And lastly, Run the Jewels. I don't know if you've heard of them, but it's Killer Mike, and it's a hip hop duo with Killer Mike and LP, and it's just like this crazy duo of hip hop. They've had two mixtapes that have come out recently. They make both of them free, completely free to download and stuff like that. And they're operating under the premise that like we want to give our music out for free because we know how competitive it is, just to get your name out there. And we're hoping that people will buy our merchandise and they'll buy our vinyls and then they'll come out and see us live and stuff. But they just dropped it's called Talk to Me. It's their single, and I'm hoping literally any day that this album is going to drop as a free download. And I'm literally I have it saved on my phone. Like I keep checking the website like multiple times a day. I'm so freaking excited, Chris. Seriously, you have no idea.
Nice. Oh, nice. So for me, so I decided we're getting close to Halloween. So I was like, okay, what are we going to do for Halloween costumes? So my son is 7. Okay, now keep this in mind. He's born in 2009, right? So I said to him, I said, what do you want to be for Halloween this year? You know what he said? Indiana Jones. Because I make him watch Raiders of the Lost Ark all the time, right? We watch all the old movies. I just, fill him with all this stuff. So he wanted to be Indy. So I did him up as Indy. I'll have to send you a picture of it. We went out tonight. It was really great. I was thinking maybe I could go as like Satipo, or maybe if I went as Tote, that'd be really cool. I could put the burn thing on my hand and everything would be really good. I saw on Facebook recently, a buddy of mine, he posted a picture, him and his wife dressed up as Rhoda Morgenstern and Joe Girard. You're not going to have any clue what that is, but it's the best costume I've ever seen. Oh my God, it's so good. It's really 70s, but definitely really good. So anyway, the music bands that you mentioned that you were all excited about this week, hopefully they're not going to turn into one-hit wonders, which is what we're going to talk about this week. Yancy, one-hit wonders. Are you ready to get into it?
Yes, I'm more than ready. I'm very excited about this topic.
This should be fun. Here we go. And everyone knows how much I love Fonzie.
I don't know if you've seen any of the Sharknado movies.
Shatner and Takei are going to be there.
I cannot believe that this is actually possible.
The Star Wars prequels were awful.
Young Doctors in Love.
Young Doctors in Love. Bad CGI kind of starts and ends with George Lucas.
Some of the worst CGI I have ever seen in my entire life.
He ruined the whole original trilogy by superimposing Hayden Christensen over Sebastian Shaw at the end of Jedi. Okay, so one thing I want to mention, I have mentioned before, like some people think, some of my picks, when we do our top fives, here on the show, some people think that I always go with the obvious choices. And, as I always, my argument is there's a reason for that, right? Like when I mentioned the best movie opening scenes of all time, there was Star Wars. Some people felt I went with the obvious choice. That's because, that is the best opening scene of all time. And that's the way it is, right? So this week, though, I tell you what, I think I'm going to surprise a few people. Like, at least I hope I do anyway. This week, we're going to be listing our top 5 one-hit wonders. And I think I want to stress, it's not about the best or the most popular one-hit wonders, but instead it's about our favorites, right? Mm-hmm. And some of mine, I bet some people may have never even heard of them before in their life. We're going to see. But anyway, here we go. Yancy, you want to start with your number 5 one-hit wonder, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, number 5. You remember a couple of shows ago we were talking about cult films and stuff like that. Yeah. And we were talking about how Napoleon Dynamite, I love it because it's very ambiguous. We don't know basically like when it's centered. Number 5, for me, it's a song called I Believe in a Thing Called Love by the Darkness. They're like a hard rock, glam metal. And if you first hear the song, you're going to think it's kind of like from the 80s, maybe like late 80s, early 90s, like a glam, like hair band.
Heavy rock. I know the song.
Yeah, real heavy, tons of guitar riffs and stuff like that, really outlandish vocals and stuff. But the song was released in 2003. And it's such a weird song. The music video is fantastic. It's like super like spacey, like they're on like a spaceship, and it's like really futuristic and stuff. I'm not going to sing it because it would literally like rip a vocal cord. But what's really weird is that it was on the album Permission to Land, right, which actually went quadruple platinum in the UK. But literally immediately after they released the album, the band broke up and they went and did their own projects, whatever, and never to be heard or seen from again. So obviously it's one hit wonder. But if you guys get a second, go on YouTube, look at the music video, watch it. The song is incredibly intoxicating. It didn't really chart very high in the US, but it was like a huge single in the UK. So that's my number 5.
Oh yeah, I remember that song. That was a good one. Okay, for me, number 5. Back in 1992, oh boy, I'm digging for this one. There was a Canadian hip hop group that came along, and they released a single, but it won the Much Music Video Award for Best Rap Video. And as I mentioned on previous shows, Much Music is the Canadian version of MTV. But anyway, so this hip hop group was made up of 3 people. There was Jordy Ferguson, who was also known as DJ Signal. There was Greg Campbell, and he was known as DJ Pin, or Pin the Chameleon, and Pin the Chameleon, and MC Bones, who most of the world knows better as Tom Green. You're the guy that was married to Drew Barrymore and hosted the Tom Green Show on Canadian
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Yes,
that Tom Green?
Yes. He was on MTV, right? So he actually got his start in the entertainment business as a skinny rapper in the group Organized Rhyme. And they put out a single in 1992 called Check the OR. And not only did it win the Much Music Video Award for Best Rap Video, like I mentioned, it was also nominated for a Juno Award the following year. So that's the Canadian version of the Emmys, FYI. So anyone that knows me personally, they will verify with you. I love this song. And although it was like a quote unquote hit in Canada back in the day, I wouldn't be surprised if not one of our American listeners has ever even heard of it. So they were definitely a one-hit wonder for sure, and an interesting one, I would say, at that, because I think mostly if you were to make a list of the most likely people to have ever been in a rap group, Tom Green might just be dead last. But I tell you, if you search Check the OR on YouTube, you are going to see a very, very young Tom Green rapping, and I love the song. So that's my number 5. On to your 4.
All right. I've got it pulled up on YouTube right now. As soon as the show's over, I'm going to watch it.
Watch it. It's dynamite.
Okay. So my number 4 is I'm going to read off a couple of the lyrics. I can see if you can guess it real quick. Okay.
All right.
Destination unknown as we pull in for some gas. A freshly pasted poster reveals a smile from the pack. Elephants and acrobats. Lions next monkey. Pele speaks righteous. Sister Cena says funky. What is the song?
I don't know.
The name of the song is How Bizarre by OMC.
Oh,
sure
yes.
You've heard it, yes.
The Elephants and Acrobats. That threw me out. Yes, I remember them. Yeah. It was like in 97, right?
95. December 15th, 1995. I was 7 years old, and I had just turned 7. And this song is still hot fire. I love the trumpet on it. It's like a really weird, I don't know. It doesn't really hold up, but like I said, it was released in 1995. It was a CD single. It never made it to a full album. They never recorded a full album at all. So this is like the epitome of a one-hit wonder. They recorded under Records, H-U-H exclamation point Records. They're kind of categorized in Wikipedia as like pop rock or rap rock, but I don't think either of those determinations make any sense at all. It's just like a really weird, like if you watch the music video, it's just like the group of them. I think there's 3 or 4 of them. They're just like riding in like an old, a 69 Chevelle, and it's they get pulled over by the police and stuff like that. But it's like this like weird bizarro world. Like things keep happening. Like cops pull them over just to say that they have a nice car and then lets them go and stuff. It's a really weird song. It made it to number 1 in 6 different countries. I don't think it charted in the United States, but it was it was the song of the summer for like a month, I guess you could say, back when I was like 7 years old. So it still like holds a special place in my heart. Every once in a while, like the mix stations, like your local mix radio station that will play like top 40 or like all the hits, or I don't know if you have like Bob FM, but that's what we have down here. You might occasionally hear this song on that, but other than that, like you're not going to hear this song ever again. So How Bizarre by OMC is my number.
I definitely remember that, and it did chart here in Canada. It was really pretty popular at the time. I did want to mention an honorable mention, and they're a Canadian group, and I don't know if you ever heard of them before, but they're called Len, and they did a song called Steal My Sunshine, and they were definitely a one-hit wonder as a Canadian, not just as an international band. They were one hit, but that was around the same time it came out. Maybe I think Steal My Sunshine might have came out in '99, but it was a bit later. But yeah, it was
almost made my list, Chris.
Yeah, it was a good song, man. It sure is catchy. Okay, my number 4. Okay, I know that you've never heard of him, Yancy, but Gen Xers out there are hopefully more than likely to remember an actor by the name of David Naughton. Now, he was a guy, he was in the original Dr. Pepper, Be a Pepper TV ads back in the 70s. And he was on a TV show called My Sister Sam with Pam Dauber from Mork and Mindy. But his most famous role was probably in An American Werewolf in London. And just to be clear, I'm talking about the 1981 John Landis movie, not that 1997 American Werewolf in Paris crap.
I know who sings it.
Yeah.
I know who sings this song.
But anyway, David Naughton, although he was an actor, but you may not know that he also released a disco single back in 1978, and it was called Makin' It. And there's a video on YouTube of him singing it. Oh my God. So it's just him on stage with a microphone doing these horrible dance steps, and he's spinning around, and oh my God, it's astonishing.
What's his name? Say his name again.
David Naughton, Naughton, and it's called Makin' It. Cue that one up for when you're done watching Check the OR. You gotta watch Makin' It. I'm telling you, talk about cheesy and dated and super 70s. This song is it. Gen Xers will probably remember this song best from the movie Meatballs. When Tripper, Bill Murray, when he goes to the dance with Roxanne, he starts doing all these crazy dance moves, he licks her hand. That song is the song that's playing. The Makin' It by David Naughton. I make no apologies about it. I love campy pop culture. Love it. And it doesn't get much better than this. Makin' It by David Naughton from 1978.
Chris, I like music a lot. We talk about it a lot. Mm-hmm. I was really excited to do this because I feel like I'm pretty good at this. Like you were mentioning, like Werewolf in London, like I know that's Warren Zevon, and like I really try to like be up to date with like the one-hit wonders. I have never heard that before in my entire life. Not even like an inkling of anything you just talked about.
Well, you got to look it up and you got to see. Like I say, I think Gen Xers will know, especially ones that love Meatballs. I love that movie. I've seen it, tons and tons of times. And as soon as any Gen Xers out there, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I know the song you're talking about when they're dancing, when Tripper's at the dance. And like I say, it's David Naughton, one-hit wonder. David Naughton, the actor, did a song.
And he was also, would you say, a Dr. Pepper commercial?
Yeah, he was originally cast. His first role as an actor was in the Dr. Pepper commercial, the Be a Pepper TV ads. Really, really popular guy at the time. But like I say, he released a single back in like 77 or 78 or 79, whenever it was. And oh man, I tell you. And like I say, just cue it up, watch it on YouTube, and then just text me and say, you're crazy, Chris. So anyway, I know you're number 3.
All right. So my number 3, obviously you're a Canadian, and I take it that you've been to at least one hockey game before in your entire life, right?
I sure have, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So down here, I live in Fort Myers. We have an ECHL team, and I think they're an affiliate of like yep, the Everblades. So Fort Myers,
yep,
Everblades.
Yep, I'm familiar with them. Yep.
And I've gone to a bunch of games, over my life and stuff like that. I've never been to any other stadium or anything like that, but this may just be our particular stadium, but I'm going to assume that this is like a hockey thing. I've never been to a hockey game and not heard Kerncraft 400 by Zombie Nation. Are you familiar with what song I'm talking about?
I am familiar with it. I don't think it gets played too much up here in Canada, but I'm familiar with it.
I mean, I've been to I've gone to the University of Florida, and I would be in the basketball stadium there, and they would be playing it. I would go to the ECHL games, and they're playing it. I would go to a soccer game, an indoor soccer game, and they're playing this song. It is like the go-to stadium, get the people excited. Like if, hey, we scored a goal on a power play, it's time to play Kerncraft 400 by Zombie Nation. So again, I can't really sing it. It's kind of like techno-ish, Zombie Nation or whatever. You guys have heard this song. I promise you've heard this. It's by a German electronic artist named Zombie Nation. Obviously, they were in Germany. They were actually a pretty big group over there, but they never charted any other singles over here in the United States, just that one. If you guys get a chance, go to YouTube and watch a music video. The guy, the actual DJ himself, is kind of dressed up in this crazy, shiny blue, blazer. And he has these two women, scantily clad in all black bras and panties, and they're dancing around him. And he's like a TV spokesperson. He's selling a product, and the product is the Kerncraft 400, which is basically like a souped up industrial strength microwave. It is the weirdest premise for a music video I have ever seen, but it's just, the song is so cheesy and it's so overplayed, like every sporting event I've ever been to, but it's just so iconic to me. Every time I hear it, I just think of hockey, yes, this is hockey. I don't think, like I said, the group himself, he never did anything else, but it's just a perfect song for me. So that's my number 3, Kerncraft 400.
Oh, nice. Okay, my number 3. I have mentioned my love for this one on the podcast before. I'm going to do it again. So back in 1986, Dutch rap duo MC Miker G and DJ Swen released their one and unfortunately only single. It's been referred to as the worst music video of all time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Holiday Rap. I tell you, remember when I mentioned that one before? We're going to ring-a-dong for a holy day. Put your arms in the air, let me hear you say. I can understand things most rappers say because rapping is my thing and I do it every day. It is the greatest. For some reason, though, we've never heard from MC Miker G and DJ Swen ever again after Holiday Rap. Shocking, really, or not. So you got to figure, they did a rap song based on Madonna's Holiday. Neither of them can sing, neither of them can rap, and neither of them can certainly dance. They look like two guys that wouldn't even listen to music, for crying out loud. It's probably just about the campiest mess ever made in the history of popular culture. So needless to say, I absolutely love it. And although they both fell off the face of the earth, the Dutch rap duo of MC Miker G and DJ Swen will live on forever in infamy. Yancy, that's my number 3.
Chris, we've done, 16 shows?
Something like that.
This is our 16th or 17th something, and DJ Swen is getting way too much play.
I think you're right.
All right. My number 2 is a popular one. We used to play this song in marching band in high school all the time. It's Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. Yes. Obviously, Tub Thumping was released in 1997. I say obviously, but it's not that obvious. But it was released in 1997. It was their most successful single. They are still a band, and they still tour and create and produce more music and stuff.
Wow.
Interesting enough, it's actually a political song. And what I heard this on a podcast, I think it's like a Gimlet Media podcast. I can't even remember. But within the last year, I heard about this where they were actually a real genuine punk band for years and years, and they were trying to basically break into a new audience because they were very hyper political with all the stuff that was going on in Europe. And a tub thumper actually it's a term you'd use for somebody most often a politician who looks to jump on the bandwagon with some sort of populist idea. So that whole song is literally about these people who latch on to they don't really care about issues and stuff, but they're just these politicians going along with whatever is popular. So it's one of those weirdly, it just seems like a dumb song about drinking, but it's actually a lot more in depth than that, which is kind of weird. And if you look at their whole catalog of music, it is completely out of line with everything else that they release, everything else. Interestingly enough, though, it did top the charts and went number 1 in Australia, the United States, Canada, Ireland, Italy, and New Zealand. And the album itself actually placed on the Billboard Hot 200 or the top 200. So, it had a nice little stay there. Everybody's heard it before. Everybody knows kind of some of the words, and then they'll mumble the other half, whatever. But just a really iconic song, and I just can't help but tap my feet to it. So number 2, Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
Okay, my number 2. Before Prince, before Apollonia, before Sheena E., even before Morris Day and the Time, the music scene in Minneapolis gave the world lip sync. And let me tell you, if there was one song that ushered out the 70s and in the process ushered in the 1980s, it was none other than Lip Sync's Funky Town. It came out in 1980. It was sort of right on the cusp of the two decades, obviously. And almost 40 years later, the song is still catchy as hell. You got to admit. If this song doesn't make you feel the energy and the groove, if it doesn't get you going, I don't know what the hell will. I remember back in the 90s, actually, my hometown was going through the process of amalgamation. Okay, so they were amalgamating with another town nearby, and the town council appealed to the general public to come up with names for the newly amalgamated municipality, and something that would unite the town, something that would reflect what we represented as a community. And so people in the town submitted their suggestions. Yancy, any guess what my suggestion was for the new municipality?
Funky Town.
Yeah, and they didn't even go for it, those damn politicians, I tell you. But that's my number 2 one-hit wonder, Funky Town by Lip Sync.
Okay, Funky Town is a fantastic song, and obviously I wasn't alive whenever it was released, but I have one very vivid memory of Funky Town. Malcolm in the Middle used to be and still is one of my all-time favorite shows. I love Malcolm in the Middle. I think it's super underrated. Everybody likes to kind of dump on Frankie Muniz because he's kind of a dork, but that show was very, very clever, really funny writing, really good acting. Of course, Bryan Cranston went on to do Breaking Bad, and he's one of the best actors of making movies right now. But there's one episode where he teaches Malcolm to rollerblade because he's very, very good at it. And he basically does an entire dance routine to Funky Town on rollerblades, and it's the most there's pelvic thrusts, it's so over the top. But that, as soon as you said Funky Town, that's immediately what I thought.
Oh yeah, that was good. Okay, so on to your number 1. What have you got for us?
I hope my mom isn't listening to this one, but my number one is the Thong Song by Cisco.
Oh, yes. Oh, nice. Oh, yes. That was like around 99 too, wasn't it?
Yep. It was recorded in 1999 and released. It was set free onto the world in February of 2000. My wife and I, we went out to like an early dinner earlier today. I was texting you, and we were talking about songs. I always like to like run stuff by her and like see what she thinks, because she has like a really interesting perspective on stuff. And oftentimes she'll throw out stuff that I didn't even think about. But we were talking about the Thong Song, and there's actually all kinds of like really deep kind of like musical themes that go on inside this song, where like the musical structure, like it's not very like chorus bridge, like it's very like discombobulated. It basically uses like samples from like Beethoven and just all kinds of like a wide array of music basically. But it was on the album Unleash the Dragon, Cisco's debut album. Weirdly enough, it was nominated for 4 Grammy Awards, which it did not win any, but the album itself peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, or the single itself. I don't know if you've seen the music video. Have you seen it by chance, Chris?
Oh yeah, of course, I remember that.
Okay. All right. So the video is released in 2000. It's set in downtown Miami on by the Strip. And Cisco goes to the beach from his nearby hometown to participate in a spring break party where there's a large swath of scantily clad young women. They're all wearing like bikinis and thongs and stuff, except for like the one main female in the music video who's wearing like a G-string, basically. There's also scenes where Cisco and all these different dancers they're driving around in like a Bentley, through the Florida Keys and stuff like that. And like what's so weird too is like you see like cameos from like Redman and Method Man, like Ja Rule and LL Cool J is in it for like no reason whatsoever. And like at one point, like he literally does like almost like Matrix, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like running through like the air. Like I don't know how to explain it. The music video is so weird. And of course he has like the dyed platinum blonde hair and stuff. It's just so weird. I mean, I'll leave it with this. Just it's intoxicating. It's a really good dance song. Obviously it came out when I was a kid, and like I remember like thongs were like the devil whenever I was a kid in my house. And I can't remember which sister, but one of my sisters had bought a pack of them at like the mall or something, and my mom found out about it and she cut them all up. So like that's where it gets to like the whole I don't want my mom to know that like I love this song. But I'll leave you with the last line, my favorite line. She liked to dance on the hip-hop spots. She cruised to the groove like Connect the Dots. She's not just urban, she liked the pop because she's living La Vida Loca. It's so bad, Chris. It's so bad, but it's just like I almost did Freak Nasty's Da Dip because I love that song too. I love those like throwback like late 90s, early 2000s dance songs where it's literally just all about dancing. You know what I mean? Like you could be like the whitest square dude ever that hates to dance, but like it makes you want to dance. That's why this song's number 1 for me.
Yeah, a lot of Venga Boys stuff was around that time too. Same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously my picks so far have been pretty obscure, but I got to tell you what, for my number 1, I got to go with the textbook response. Sorry, it's just too big to ignore. When I think of one-hit wonders, I think the conversation starts and ends with Dexy's Midnight Runners and their definitive one-hit wonder of all time, Come On Eileen. It's got a fiddle intro. It's got interesting lyrics. It's got that counter melody bridge going on. Now lead singer Kevin Rowland, he co-wrote the song. He said that it's about his girlfriend from when he was a teenager, and he had this like strict Catholic upbringing, and he said that sex was a taboo subject growing up. So he wrote this song about his first time, especially in regard to growing up in such a conservative time. I think when you hear this song, when I hear this song anyway, it instantly will take you back to the 1980s. Like I've said before, Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds is, in my opinion, the definitive song of the 1980s. But Come On Eileen, for me, is right up there with it. Well, Yancy, we made it through our favorite top 5 one-hit wonders of all time. Are you ready for me to start throwing some trivia at you? Let's do this. I promise you I will not cheat. I'm pulling all of this from my brain. All right, here we go. Let's have some
fun with Yancy.
Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to go easy on this week. I think I'm going to go easy on you. Well, we'll find out. Okay. The first rap song to enter the U.S. Top 40 didn't happen in the 90s. It didn't even happen in the 1980s. You have to go all the way back to the fall of 1979. And although the radio edit was 4 minutes and 55 seconds, the 12-inch single was a full 15 minutes long. Well, 14 minutes, 27 seconds to be exact. Mm-hmm. And although this song had huge success, and it's often seen as a watershed moment in rap, entering the mainstream, that's for sure, the band that released the song, they were never able to repeat their original success. Yancy, can you name the song? that started it all for the rap genre?
I can't remember the song, but is it Sugar Hill Gang?
It is, and it's Rapper's Delight.
Oh, Rapper's Delight. Yes, I
by
did
the
know
Sugar
that
Hill
as soon
Gang.
as you said
So
that.
I'll give it to you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this song by the Vapors, their only hit single, was released in 1980. Although the band denies it, rumors exist that the title of the song is a euphemism for masturbation.
Oh my.
Can you name the song?
It's yes, yes, it's Turning Japanese, right?
Very good. Yes, it is. Okay.
Wow, I forgot about that one. Dude, seriously.
Yeah. Okay. So sharing the same name as a Van Halen song from 1984, this song was released by a child rap duo in 1992. The duo never again found musical success, making them a one-hit wonder and on their way finding themselves onto our podcast here. Another thing they never found either was pants that ever fit them. Can you name this one-hit wonder from 1992?
You said it was a Van Halen song?
It shares the same name as a Van Halen song.
So it's Jump by Criss Cross, right?
Yes, Daddy Back will make ya. Criss Cross will make ya. Very, very good. Congratulations. Okay, this song was originally... You're doing very well tonight, by the way. Very, very proud.
I'm telling you, this is my jam, man.
This
Seriously,
is,
since
man,
you said we wanted to do this, I was like, let's do it.
Oh,
this
man,
is good.
music, I tell you, you're getting them all. Okay, so this song was originally released in Germany, Yancy. When it came to America, English lyrics were recorded, and the color red was added into the title, replacing the word air from the German title. Also in the title was the number worn. You mentioned hockey earlier. I'm going to give you a hint. There was a number in the title that was worn by hockey superstar Wayne Gretzky during his professional career. Can you name this one-hit wonder by Nina?
Oh, 99 Red Balloons.
Yes.
As soon as you said Nina,
I know. I gave it to you there. Okay, here's another gimme, okay? This one's right up your alley. This song by Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock peaked at number 3 on the Billboard charts in 1988.
Rob Bass?
Yes, Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. This song in 1988 was their only hit single of all time.
I feel like I should know this, but I don't know, Chris.
It takes two to make a thing go right.
Oh my.
You know the song I'm talking about, don't you?
You okay?
Yeah, I did. I almost threw my back out on that one, but yeah, I did it. It Takes Two, obviously, is the song. So,
oh, wow.
So once again, you bring the music, and I just I bring the singing, which is I got to stop doing because it just didn't work out. So anyway, that's it. It's time for us to wrap things up. Yancy, make sure if anybody wants to reach out to Yancy, they can reach him on Twitter at Yancy Eaton. You can find me on Twitter at C McBrien. Just remember McBrien is IEN, or shoot us an email at Chris or Yancy at popgoesyourworld.com. You can always visit popgoesyourworld.com, and all of our contact information is up there on the website. Until next time, thanks for listening to Pop Goes Your World, the pop culture podcast for the generations.
Thank you for listening to the Pop Goes Your World podcast. Continue the conversation on Twitter at C McBrien or at Yancy Eaton. Please consider leaving a review for the podcast on iTunes or wherever you download and listen to the show.